Walt Disney Bambi.
Springtime in the forest. Deep in the forest, Thumper the bunny was spreading exciting news. A new princess born, he shouted. In a nearby clearing, a mama deer lay with her newborn son. This is quite an occasion, said friend Owl. It isn't every day a prince is born.
A prince is born.
The mama deer named her son
Bambi.
Days passed, and Bambi began to explore his world. There was so much to see. Good morning, called some possums. Bambi turned his head upside down to greet them. Then a furry creature popped out of the ground. Good morning, said the mole. Startled, Bambi tumbled to the ground. Thumper called out,
Bambi.
Get up! Try again! Bambi struggled to his feet. He didn't want to miss any of the fun. Every day, Bambi's friends showed him new things. Those are birds, they explained. Bird, repeated Bambi. It's bird, corrected Thumper. Bird, said Bambi loudly. The bunnies cheered. Bird, said Bambi again, when a butterfly landed on his tail.
Bambi.
Thumper laughed. No, that's a butterfly. Then Thumper introduced his friends to Flower. But as Bambi bent toward them, he found himself nose to nose with a skunk.
With a skunk.
Flower,
Flower.
said Bambi proudly.
Said Bambi proudly.
Thumper giggled. But Flower, was that little skunk's name from then on?
Was that little skunk's name for on?
When thunder rumbled, Bambi hurried to his cozy thicket. As he nested close to his mother, the pitter-patter of rain lured him to sleep. Later, sunshine filled the sky again, and Bambi's mother decided it was time to show him the meadow.
Mommy, I want to say Bambi.
The meadow was so open and green that
Bambi
darted forward, but his mother leaped in front of him. There may be danger, she scolded. Once,
Bambi.
Mother was sure it was safe,
Bambi
bounded into the field. Suddenly, he heard a ribbit.
Ribbit a frog he saw. Bambi
Followed the frog until it splashed into a nearby pond. Then,
Bambi
noticed his own reflection and that of a smaller girl fawn.
That's me.
That's little Faline,
Bambi and
Mother
Bambi.
told him. Go on, say hello. Hello, he said shyly. Faline giggled and began to chase him.
Bambi
Joined in the game and they played happily in the field.
Bambi
Had found a new friend,
had found a new friend.
the great prince.
The great friend.
A thundering herd of stags galloped onto the meadow. The biggest stag stopped and looked at
Bambi.
asked his mother who the stag was. She answered, "He is very brave and wise. He is the great prince of the forest. He was also
Bambi, a deer."
father." Suddenly, a gunshot sounded. As the animal scattered,
Bambi,
lost his mother. Instantly, the great prince was at
Bambi,
side. He reunited
Bambi,
with his mother and led them home safely. Time passed quickly in the forest, and
Bambi,
woke one morning to find the world covered in a soft white blanket. It was his first winter. Bambi found Thumper skating on the frozen pond. "Come on,"
Bambi,
Thumper called.
Bambi,
Ran toward the ice. With a sudden splat, Bambi slipped onto his belly. And when Thumper tried to teach him how to balance on ice,
yes, Bambi,
slid them both into a snowbank. They landed by a small den where Flower lay sleeping. Flower explained that skunks sleep through the winter. "Good night," he murmured. The snowy days seemed endless, and food grew scarce. "I'm hungry, Mother," said.
Bambi said.
"Winter won't last forever," she assured him. Finally,
Bambi gets to see his mom.
saw the first sign of spring. A small patch of grass
Bambi,
was nibbling at it when a gunshot ran out. "Run for the ticket!" cried his mother.
Bambi
Ran as fast as he could. When he reached the thicket, he said, "We made it, Mother." But she wasn't there. Then
Bambi,
heard a second gunshot.
can you tell me, Mommy?
As
Bambi,
cried, the great prince appeared before him. "Your mother can't be with you anymore," he said gently. "Come with me, my son." Together, Bambi and his father walked deeper into the forest. Before long, flowers began to bloom, and bird songs filled the air. Even Flower awakened from his long winter sleep. Spring had arrived.
Can you tell me?
During the winter,
Bambi,
had grown into a handsome buck, and Thumper and Flower had both grown to their full sizes. When the owl saw them, he said, "It won't be long before you're twiddle-petted. Nearly everyone falls in love in the springtime." The three friends declared that it would not happen to them.
I'm not going to the screen. Bambi,
But when Flower saw a pretty skunk, he happily walked off with her. Then Thumper came across a lovely bunny. When she petted his ears, Thumper's foot went thump, thump, thump. Lonely, Bambi stopped to drink from a pond. A familiar face looked back at him in the reflection. "Don't you remember me?" asked a sweet voice. "I'm Baleen." Baleen the fawn had grown into a beautiful doe. Together, Bambi and Baleen played in the meadow, just as they had done the summer before. Now,
Then
Bambi understood what Friend Owl meant. He had never felt so happy. Suddenly, an angry stag appeared. "Help!" cried Faline as the stag tried to force her to come with him.
Bambi
Butted the stag with all his strength. The defeated stag limped away, and from that day on,
Bambi
and Faline were inseparable. Man comes to the forest.
Bambi
Awoke one morning sensing danger. Smoke was in the air, and he could see a fire burning. The great prince told him, "It was man. We must go deep into the forest. Hurry!"
Bambi said.
News of danger quickly spread. Frightened animals scurried underground or raced deeper into the forest. As Faline searched for Bambi, hunting dogs jumped at her from the bushes.
Bambi
She cried, scrambling to the top of the steep cliff. The hound snapped at her heels, barking ferociously. Faline was trapped. Just then,
Bambi
sprang out of the woods and charged the dogs with his sharp antlers. He attacked one dog after another until Faline bounded to safety.
Bambi
Escaped the dogs, but as he leaped after Faline, a gunshot sounded. Wounded,
Bambi
tumbled to the ground. Fire raged toward him, but he couldn't get up. Then he heard the voice of the great prince. "You must get up,"
Bambi said.
the great prince
Bambi said.
staggered to his feet. "Follow me," his father said. "We'll be safe in the river." Soon they came to a waterfall. With nowhere else to turn, they leaped toward the rapids below.
Bambi
And the great prince finally reached the island where Faline stood waiting. Even as they watched the beautiful forest burn, they all knew that when man was gone, the animals would bravely rebuild their homes. Autumn turned to cold white winter, and then to spring. "Wake up, Friend Owl," said Thumper, and his 4 thumping baby bunnies. "It's happened," called Flower to the baby skunk scurrying behind him. The animals circled around the thicket where Faline and her 2 fawns lay. "Prince
Bambi
ought to be mighty proud," said the owl as the fawns opened their big eyes to greet their friendly visitors.
Bambi
Was now the prince of the forest, and as he and his family began their lives together,
Yes, Bambi said.
Bambi thought of the lesson he hoped to teach his children, lessons he had learned from his mother and his father long ago.
The